On the 2nd of December 2023, police received an anonymous call reporting concerns for welfare at a flat in Earlham. Upon attending, police saw a man running away from the address, later identified as Karl Johnson. They gained entrance and identified the victim, who said to the officer, "Can you take me with you?" He explained that he'd been brought to this property against his will, with a bag over his head. He spoke of the ordeal they had subjected him to. He'd been violently assaulted and tied up. Officers searched the address and found a dressing gown strap which had been tied to the bed, along with electrical cables. He also had a burn mark on his hand and bruises on his body from where he had been hit with a weapon. Detectives uncovered that the victim had acquired hundreds of thousands of pounds worth of cryptocurrency, which the defendants, through use of violence, kidnap and false imprisonment, sought to steal. An investigation was immediately launched by the Criminal Investigation Department in Salford, and from the address police recovered more weapons. They seized a viable firearm, a magazine containing 3 rounds of ammunition, an imitation firearm, an air pistol, electrical cables, ropes, cable ties, which were used to restrain the victim, knives, meat cleavers, a baseball bat, a machete, and a hammer. Police also found documents belonging to Karl Johnson and several cigarette butts which had DNA from Karl and Luke Johnson. The victim said he did not know who was doing this to him, but explained that similar incidents had happened several months earlier, but they had let him go as he had paid them over 100,000. As the investigation developed, detectives identified that these men had terrorized the victim on several occasions, demanding cryptocurrency, using machetes and a pistol to assault him, and even drugging him with morphine on one occasion. In January 2023, the victim was at home when he heard a knock on his door. The man at the door threatened to assault him if he didn't transfer cryptocurrency to Scott Armstrong. The victim transferred the money. Upon receipt, the man left. Later that month, David Povey went back to the victim's address with another man. They had a knife and were demanding more money. In October 2023, the victim went to an address in Cadishead. When he arrived, Gary Edwards dragged him into the flat, and he was tied up and forced to send more money. When he couldn't pay immediately, they kept him restrained all night, subjected him to violent assaults, and locked him in a cupboard. If he didn't pay, Cain Goddiff told him he would be killed. After they received the money, he was freed. Just days later, they went to his house again, demanding more money. They took him to Egret Drive, the address he was later found at by police. Again, they placed a bag over his head and demanded money. The final incident took place on the 30th of November. The victim had been at a friend's house when he was approached by Gary Edwards and thrown into a van and had something put over his head. Further phone analysts identified that the defendants were in contact in the nights leading up to the first kidnap. Similarly, after police located the victim, Jonathan Nunes, David Povey and Karl Johnson were all in regular contact with one another. Cell site analysis also placed them all at their house on Egret Drive on the date of the kidnap. Forensic analysts of the black hand pistol and ammunition that police seized provided DNA profile which was the match for Jonathan Nunes. On Thursday the 30th of January, the men appeared at Manchester Crown Court to be sentenced for their roles. Jonathan Nunes of Salix Court, White Beam Close, Salford, was found guilty of 2 counts of attempted robbery, 2 counts of false imprisonment, kidnap, and possession of a prohibited firearm. He has been jailed for 20 years. David Povey of Dalebeck Close, Whitefield, was found guilty of robbery, kidnap, false imprisonment, and attempted robbery. He has been jailed for 20 years. Luke Johnson of Southway Eccles was found guilty of 2 counts of attempted robbery, 2 counts of false imprisonment, and 2 counts of kidnap. He is being jailed for 13 years and 6 months. Gary Edwards of Cumberland Avenue, Cadishead, pleaded guilty to attempted robbery. He is being jailed for 10 years and 2 months. Kane Goddiff of No Fixed Abode pleaded guilty to attempted robbery. He has been jailed for 7 years and 5 months. Karl Johnson of Egret Drive, Earlham, pleaded guilty to 2 counts of encouraging or assisting an offence of robbery. He has been jailed for 3 years. Scott Armstrong of No Fixed Abode pleaded guilty to 2 counts of transferring criminal property. He has been jailed for 2 years and 4 months. Investigating Officer Detective Sergeant Stephanie Boland said this was a challenging investigation, which has thankfully resulted in these dangerous offenders being removed from the streets for a significant amount of time. While I know that this sentence won't change or take away from the trauma that our victim was subjected to, I sincerely hope that it helps move him forward with his life, safe in the knowledge that these men are now behind bars. Detective Inspector Justin Bryant from Salford District said, "These men showed a concerning propensity for violence and weren't afraid to use a variety of formidable weapons to get what they want. I'd like to commend the victim for his bravery, and I hope he continues to recover from this experience. I not only hope that this sentencing acts as a deterrent to anyone who may be considering such violence, but I hope it reassures the communities of Greater Manchester that we will use all specialist resources and skills to catch harmful offenders." Please like this video, please comment, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you.